This is a very sad day, an impossible day for all of us, for the police officers, for the doctor, for Mercy Hospital, for everyone's families and extended families and friends. I do not want Dayna remembered as a victim, and I want everyone to understand that. Dayna was a very special person. She had unique gifts. She was intelligent, she was funny, she was kind, she was a good friend, and had good friends, and has good friends. She was wanting and willing to help other people for her whole life. When Dayna was 15 years old, she got a headache disorder. It wasn't a migraine, it was more a trigeminal neuralgia type of a disease. And she required a series of surgeries at Georgetown University in 2011. And they brought her back to us. And Dayna decided at 16 years old that she had freely given her chance at life, been given her chance at life back, and she was going to freely give of her life to everyone she could. She was going to give of herself. So she started, along with my wife, Tina, a blog called My Daughter's Headache. It's still out there. I want people to see it. She's helped Dayna helped hundreds of children across the country and internationally who were afflicted with this disorder. She gave them hope, she gave them help, and she was a friend to them. And some of them didn't make it, but she soldiered on, and she helped everyone she could, and she was continuing to help everyone she could in her life. She was then able to finish high school. She went on to Purdue University, which she loved. She entered their pharmacy program. She worked hard. I never saw anyone work harder. The more she learned, the more she could help other people, and that's what she wanted to do. That's all she wanted to do, was help people. She graduated this past May with a PharmD, so she could help people. She loved Mercy Hospital. She was doing her residency there. She was just about to sign on to do a second-year residency at Mercy Hospital. She loved them, and I know they're hurting, and Godspeed to them too, and everybody there who cares about her. Before she got sick, she started dating a man named Adam Carrick. They met when they were 9 years old at church camp. They met when they were 9. They started dating when they were 15 years old, and they never dated anyone else. And on June 1st, we were going to have a marriage. And June 1st of 2019. And Adam's heart is broken, as all of ours are broken. What else can you say to a man who's loved a person for 10 years and decided to spend their lives together? He made her laugh. He made her giddy at every phone call. He made her complete. And he's crushed. I don't have any answers. I'm not here to give you any advice. I want to thank God for the Chicago Police Department, whose officer laid down his life to protect others at Mercy Hospital. If it wasn't for them, you may be doing 20 press conferences, not 1 or 2 or 3. Thank God for them. The Chicago Police Department is a fine organization with fine individuals, and they came running to when everybody else was running from danger. I don't have anything else to say. I don't want her to be remembered. I don't want Dayna to be remembered as a victim. She had a life. She lived her life every day. She never stopped. She ran marathons. As soon as she got off that couch when she was 16 years old, she never got back on it. And she was using her life, and she made the most of every moment of it. And I think we can all learn from her. Make the most of your life. If you have problems, if you have issues, work them out. Don't take them out on the rest of the world. The rest of the world doesn't deserve it. And we need to find a way to stop this insanity, this violence. That's all I have.
Do you remember the last time you spoke to her, and what did you all talk about?
I spoke to her Sunday night, and I was texting with her for 45 minutes, just back and forth. I spoke to her every day. She called me every day when she left work. She called me when she was at lunch. She called to say hi. She's an only child. She was the best and brightest star on this planet, and she didn't deserve what she got, but I don't want her remembered as a victim. I want her remembered as a person, and a good person, and a person who gave of herself every single time she could. She gave and gave and gave, and she was nice and kind and funny and giving and warm, and anybody who knew her loved her. You could not love this girl. You just couldn't.
You say that she was going to sign up for a second residency at Mercy. What is it about Mercy Hospital that she loves so much, that environment?
Honestly, she liked the opportunity to do clinical things and work with a more indigent population and to help people. She had done several rotations while she was in pharmacy school where she got to work in clinics where there were indigent people, and they would come in and she would adjust all their medications, and she was very skilled and very understanding of diabetes and how you control that, and she really helped people get through that. And she secretly told me one day not long ago, she said, "Dad, I don't want anybody to know, but I would do this for free. I would do it for free. They don't have to pay me, but if they want to pay me, they can." But she loved it so much. She loved it so much. She didn't do it for the money. She didn't care about the money. She just wanted to help people do what's right.
You know, I'm looking at you, and I can feel your distress. I can see that. Tell me how you and your family are trying to process this. Talk about how you're working through it, especially with, you know, the holidays and everything coming up, and just how
We can't process it. We haven't processed it. We're in shock. Thank God for my family, my entire extended family, group of friends. Anybody who found out went to Northwestern Hospital last night, and my wife and I were supposed to be picked up by Chicago PD out here in Indiana. And when they got here, they said, "We're not taking you there because there's nothing you can do. She's gone. She didn't make it." And everybody up there, I had to call them and tell them, and then they all came down to the house, so we had a house full of people. So we haven't processed it yet, and I don't know that it ever will be processed. And as of right now, I don't know how anybody in my family can think of holidays. Someday, but not now.
What was the plan? She was coming home this week.
We were going to go to my brother's for Thanksgiving. We had just lost my my mother-in-law a few weeks ago. And we really didn't want to have Thanksgiving at our house. We were going to go to my brother Michael's, and they were coming. Adam and Dayna were coming there as well, and then they were going to go to Adam's mom and dad's. They live out here in St. John too. We've known them for 15 years. We're good friends with Adam's parents. It was a match made in heaven. We were planning a wedding of over 500 people, and I was going to be giving a wedding speech instead of a eulogy. And there's absolutely no reason for this, but I want her remembered for what good she brought into this world, the light that she brought, and I don't want her remembered as a victim.
What do you think of this happening in a hospital? That must be so safe.
It can happen anywhere, and thank God there were good guys there, and not just a bad guy.
Adam was about to be part of your family. Will
He was already part of our family,
in
and
the
he is
future?
part of our family, and he will always be part of our family. He's a wonderful guy. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. They were both 24 years old. They're both 24 years old. They had the world by the collar, okay? They had the world by the collar, and they were going to take it and live their lives and be happy, and they were well on their way. My wife, who's a seamstress who makes wedding dresses, was making her wedding dress. I don't know what she's gonna do. She's devastated. We all are. For no reason, for absolutely no reason.
Anything you'd like to add that you want people to know about Dayna?
Just how good and kind she was, and what a bright light she was in the world, and what a bright light she was trying to be for the rest of her life. She worked hard. I'm an educated person. I never saw somebody work as hard as she did to get what she wanted. And she was going to do it, and she's going to do it with class and professionalism, and she was helping people along the way. She went to Kenya with Purdue University. She went to Kenya as a pharmacy student on rotations, and when she got there, the doctors in Kenya went on strike. And the pharmacists and anybody else who had an education took care of the patients. And she called me and said, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. And I said, you do the best you can, and you'll learn the most you can out of those types of situations. And she understood that, and she agreed, and she did the best she could, and she sent back information, and I think some of it is on the website, of her wins that day, the positive things. She was a positive person. She didn't send back the things of people who had passed away or that. She sent back notices of, we were able to save this person. We were able to save that person. That's who she was.
Can you talk a little bit about her time at Lake Central High School? Did she
Steve.
sports or anything?
You know, honestly, she spent a year and a half barely being able to get off the couch to go to Lake Central High School. Her friends would bring her books home and her homework home to her every day, and she studied as best she could, and she took the tests, and sometimes she went one day a week if she could, sometimes she went 1 hour a week if she could. You don't understand what a headache disorder like that would do. She went to every doctor that she could, and here and at Northwestern or Rush or whomever. She went to Diamond Headache Clinic. She went everywhere, And until she found Dr. Dusich at Georgetown University, which we found through my wife was tenacious and found out about Dr. Dusich and what he was doing, the surgery he was performing. And we took her out to Georgetown, and she had 2 surgeries, and I have a picture where she traded 2 black eyes for a smile. She came out of surgery. She was all beat up, but she had a smile for the first time in a year.
She found relief from that.
She found relief from those surgeries, and she found out after that if she laid around on the couch, she'd get a headache, and her feet never touched the ground again. She started jogging. She went to the gym. She became tenacious in her career and tenacious in how she took care of herself, and she was going places, man.
You live here in St. John?
I live here in St. John, and this is my office in St. John as well.
For people who see the story and they want to do something, they want to, what would you recommend?
Oh, hug your kids. Hug your kids every day. Talk to them every day. Do something, I don't know, do something every day to make the world a better place. And when you see somebody who's losing their mind, help them. Help them. Don't let them walk into a business or a hospital or anywhere else and shoot the place up for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Every one of these stories is, oh, I heard this on Facebook first, I heard that, and nobody seems to be doing things, or maybe we just hear about the ones that fall through the cracks, and hundreds of people are saved every day by people who care, who see comments and report them and help people. But do more of that. Do more of that. There's a lot of good people in this world. The stories are so horrible. Las Vegas, synagogues, it's horrible, and I think we can do more. I don't know what that is. Hug your children and make sure everybody's okay before you leave for work every day. And if they're not, do something about it.